Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D, and it's the 1978 quarter. You've heard all about them. You heard about the Phil D's and the In Cod We Trust and the Close AMs, and you look on eBay and they have some for sale that are silver. They did not make silver quarters in 1978, so don't buy one on eBay that says it's silver. They only made the copper, nickel-clad copper center coins. The Phil D doesn't mean anything. Almost all the D's are filled. This one right here, you can see right to the right there. Phil D, you're almost never going to get an open D from the Denver Mint from 1978 because they didn't make them. Here's one straight out of the package right there. This is about as good as you're ever going to get. And even this one, you can see the middle of it has kind of a filling in it. And if you don't believe this came straight out of the package, I've got another package, and that's this one right here. It's actually still in the packaging from the US Mint, and you can see all the different ones here, and there's that D quarter, and we flip it around, and look at that D right there. This is in the plastic from the mint, uncirculated, never used, and that, my friends, is a Phil D also. That's these two, this one and this one here, are uncirculated. So if you're looking for a 1978 Phil D, what I would suggest is you look for an unfilled D. The Phil D is not going to be worth anything just because it's filled, but if you found one with an open D in it, you might be able to make some bucks because they just did not make many of them. So right in front of us here we have the Philadelphia with no mint mark there, the Denver with the filled D mint mark. And now there's the other thing that some people talk about a bunch is the no mint mark from 1978. Well, they made 520 million 1978 quarters with no mint mark on them because Philadelphia didn't put a mint mark that year. And so if you find one with no mint mark, that's the norm. They only made about 287 million at the Denver Mint, and those with the D's on it. And then they also made them, but only as proof coins, at the San Francisco Mint. And so if you look at this one here, you'll see this is the S on here for the San Francisco Mint, and you can see that it's kind of that filled S on this one. Again, no huge value to this, but they only made 3.1 million at the San Francisco Mint, so these are worth a little bit more. But if you get the best San Francisco Mint coin you can possibly get, it's going to be worth about $42. And what do I mean by the best? Well, if you get a proof 70 from the San Francisco Mint, and it's going to look something like this. This is actually one from PCGS, a 1979S, and you'll see that this is a proof 69. This proof 69 from 1979, the next year, this in the casing, evaluated by PCGS, and graded as a proof 69, I got this for $7. You can get the best 1978 quarter from San Francisco ever made for about $42. They've already graded 1,365 at a proof 70, so don't expect the big bucks. Don't expect any bucks really from the San Francisco Mint. Now, what about the Philly Mint? Are there any that are worth anything? Yes, there are. If you can get one of these that's at a mint state 67 plus, and we'll show you one on the PCGS website. And the way you tell is you look at all the details and everything on here, and you look at the details, the body feathers and stuff on the back. And if you get one of those, you can get up to $1,700 for it. They've graded 5 at a mint state 67 plus, $1,700. And the auction record for one of those is actually $2,875, but that was before they found the other 4 of them. Okay, so this is the best 1978 coin we've ever seen. It's on the PCGS website. You can see down here at the bottom it says it's a mint state 67 plus. Just incredible detail in the hair, in the tie, in the back of the wig. And you see here not a very strong G on there. 1978 Liberty. And then when you get to the back, you see these feathers all right nice down the legs and in between the legs. So this one here, the best one that they've ever graded at PCGS, went for $2,875. But of course what happened was once that went for almost $3,000, a bunch of other people came out and found more. And so what happens is just because you have a auction record of 2,875, you still got to look at what the current value is. And right now, a Mint State 67 plus, $1,700 is how much PCGS grades it at, because now there are 5 of those Mint State 67 pluses. And what about the best Denver Mint one? Let's take a look at that Denver Mint one and see if that has a Phil D on it also. And there you go right there. The best Denver Mint coin that PCGS has ever graded right here. And what do you see there? A Phil D. All the Ds are filled on every coin. The worst one they've ever graded had a Phil D on it also. And you've seen our uncirculated coins, and those all have a somewhat Phil D on them. If you want the big bucks, look for the open D. And if you ever find an open D, fully open, great D on there from 1978, it's going to be worth thousands of dollars. All right, back to our coins. What about the Denver Mint? How much can you make for a Denver Mint coin? If you get one at the best condition possible, you can get up to $1,700 so far, because they've never found any that were over Mint State 68 at either mint. They've only graded 4 MS 68s ever, and those are all from the Denver Mint. So let's take a look at some of these other ones here. So this is the D that we're talking about, and then there's something else they call the In God We Trust. And what they're saying is there isn't a little bit down here on the end of the G, it just looks like a C. And there are thousands of those that look like that. You almost never get them quite this good. So let's take a look and see if we can find one with our stuff. Now, this is a little tail. There's a little tail. If you get them really, really worn out, sometimes you won't see a little tail on them. But we don't even have one of those. If you get one that's sold as In God We Trust, chances are it's absolutely no value, more than just a quarter, because it's going to be so beat up and worn off that it's not going to have any collector's value to it at all. So don't go for the In God We Trust. What about the other thing they talked about? So on the back of these coins, if we go way up in here, I mean the AM that's touching, on the back of these coins, if we go way up here, you'll see that some people say that if this touches, it has a higher value. Well, almost all of them touch. A few of them don't. Let's take a look through for those. Okay, so this one, that looks like it's touching. So if we can find one that's not touching, that would be there we go. So this one right here, we got a little bit, almost got a little bit of space there between the A and the M. If you put it right like that, you can see the little bit of a space there. So almost every single one is going to look like it's touching. Let's see this one here. Again, really looks like it's touching there too. That is not going to be a value. That's just that the coin is a little worn out and they didn't do a very good job printing them. What about these tail feathers on the back? If we look at a proof coin, we can actually see some of the tail feathers on the back. The tail feathers and body feathers on the back. And it would be right down here where you get this really good line. And then these, right between the legs, you see these great feather, and then up through here. Unfortunately, because this is a proof coin, you're not going to get a whole lot of value out of that. But what if we look at our 1978 from the mint set? Can we find some good feathers on the back of that one? Yes, we can. So this one is probably somewhere, this is a Denver Mint coin. We can see the feathers all the way down here. We can see great tail feathers on it. It's a Denver Mint coin. It's probably an MS 65, maybe 65 plus. So it's in really, really good shape. You can see the cowlick up there. You can see the beak. You can see the eye. An MS65 in really, really good shape from the Denver Mint's worth about $7. So no huge values in 1978, and no great finds, and no great error coins really, except for misstruck ones in things that are so obviously an error that the NGC has graded some of those that are just misstruck or offset. What you want to do if you want to get the most valuable 1978 coins ever is find one that's a Mint State 67 or above, and then you might get up to the $1,000 mark. All right, so don't worry about any Phil Ds, because The fill D is not a thing. All of them are fill Ds. Don't worry about this close AM. Almost all of them are close AMs. And don't think that just because it doesn't have a mint mark on it, that it has any value, because in 1978, they made 521.4 million of these quarters that didn't have a mint mark on them. All right, have a great day from Big D Coins. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.